Welcome to Scrapheap Challenge, where our canny contestants craft cunning creations from the remnants of rusty wrecks. And this week, we're planning a bit of a wind-up.
So we should see some moments of high tension as our teams compete to build a life-size Clockwork car to race on this track. Engines and motors are out of bounds. They'll have to rely on muscle power to wind up their hand-cranked chariots.
First up are the Jailbreakers, a tough-talking trio of prison officers doing a stretch at HMP Featherstone in Wolverhampton. The Jailbreakers have been spending rather a lot of time at Her Majesty's pleasure, but now, armed with a cunning plan, they're looking to make a break from their day job. Captain Mick is the linchpin, an ex-Marine commando turned physical education instructor.
I'm a born leader. I've always got the best out of people, and I know I'll get the best out of the other two players.
He's enlisted Andy, fellow PE instructor and former coal mine electrician, as extra muscle.
We're good at improvising. We can make things work in any situation, and we just don't like getting beat.
Steve is the master welder. He's in charge of fabrication in the prison workshops.
I can weld anything to anything with anything.
Together, they're the Jailbreakers.
If you beat us, don't ever break the law and come to our jail.
Taking on the tough guys are the young ones. These baby-faced bodgers make up the youngest ever Scrapheap team. 19-year-old Captain Tom and his two playmates John and Rich aren't as innocent as they seem. These juvenile jumpstarts are fans of two things, Scrapheap and paintballing. Logistical engineer Tom started tinkering on his first V8 engine at the age of 6.
We're good at anything. We could do anything. Whether it floats, sinks, drives on land or flies, we can do it.
By 12, he and playground pal Rich had built a go-kart.
We're the youngest team ever. We've got the most energy, we've got the most determination, and that is why we are going to win Scrapheap Challenge.
Later, they met John, a student of cybernetics and the grandson of a rocket scientist.
Paintballing gives us the skills of teamwork and team bonding, and also helps us to solve problems together.
And when the young ones hit the heap, they plan to splatter the opposition.
Jailbreakers, young ones, no recoiling from this week's challenge, which could well stretch you to breaking point. It's set to be a super tense, highly strung marriage of man and machine. So get ready to spring into action, because I want you to build a life-size, crackpot, clockwork car.
You're having a laugh.
Yes, teams, you must make roadworthy, wind-up wonders designed to store your muscle power in their mighty mechanical batteries. You'll have to career and corner, speed and slalom using only those energy reserves. So, when the wrecking ball's released, you'll have just 10 hours. Are you ready?
Yes!
Go! The teams each get a technical consultant, or TC, to help put some spring into their plans. The young ones can rely on the wisdom of Clive Sleeth, designer of high-tech human-powered vehicles.
Right then, Clockwork cars.
While the Jailbreakers' accomplice is nifty Nick Green,
Hi guys.
Hi, Nick. What's the plan?
a design engineer for performance cars.
My idea is to use a rubber band power. You've seen model aircraft with winding up propellers, right?
Yeah.
Well, you don't do it like that.
Well, go on, explain.
I reckon we do it on two rollers, and there's a rubber band running between them, so that automatically stretches it.
With no traditional engine to power them forward, both teams will need a super light chassis, so heavyweight cars are out.
To motor them into the lead, the Jailbreakers plan to stretch a length of rubber between two rollers. They'll mount it on a chassis made of bike bits. By pedalling backwards, they'll stretch the rubber. Once they let go of the pedals, the rubber should ping them forward. It sounds straightforward, but if their rubber gets too tense, it could snap in a spectacular fashion. But those Jailbreakers are super confident.
You stop pedalling, and it will take off like a scalded cat.
Well,
The brainy young ones are aiming for something much more high-tech.
thought we might try a flywheel to store the energy. Right. Okay. So imagine we're going to have this spinning flywheel to store our energy, and then we need a transmission to take the energy from the flywheel to our drive wheel.
A flywheel is simply a heavy-rimmed spinning wheel that stores energy. The young ones plan to mount it on a lightweight chassis and pedal it up to top speed. But releasing the stored energy smoothly from the flywheel to the drive wheel could prove tricky. So they'll need to devise a clutch system to unleash the power from the flywheel. It's all very complicated, but awfully clever.
Chassis, we're looking at putting several bikes together for stability.
That's an excellent idea.
Right then, so basically guys, we're looking at getting some form of flywheel, belts and pulleys.
Tool up and go shopping.
Go on then.
It's time for our bodgers to hit our bargain basement of base metals. Both teams know that combustion engines and batteries are strictly off limits. Oi, Steve, put that motorcycle back.
Could you find 2 identical washing machines as well, by any chance, as well?
Now, what would a gang of teenagers want with a washing machine?
There's an enormous amount of youthful energy going on here.
Oh, that's the plan. We're looking for motion lightweight stuff, as much transmission, sort of chains, belts.
What are you building the basic thing out of?
Big flywheel to store the engine.
Right.
To pedal it up, get the spirals.
Oh, so that's what the washing machines, you're going to use the
belts, hopefully, or the drums even.
Right.
Line that with something heavy.
The young ones reckon a washing machine drum is a natural flywheel. A flywheel is simply a heavy wheel that, when spun up to high speeds, stockpiles energy very efficiently. If they weight the drum properly at the rim and ensure it spins freely on its axis, it will act as a powerful energy store for their Clockwork racer. The athletic adolescents plan to pedal it up to 2,000 revs per minute, storing up the energy that can be released to a drive wheel, zooming them forward.
Flywheels aren't just science fantasy. In Switzerland in the 1950s, this experimental bus ran on electricity stored in a 1,500 kilogram flywheel. When the bus used up all the energy, it would link up with electrical lines overhead to spin the flywheel back up again. In the 1990s, Chrysler developed the Patriot, a super-fast flywheel-powered electric race car. It achieved speeds of 200 miles per hour, but was shelved because of fears that such a fast flywheel might fly off. And now flywheels have gone into orbit. In space, an energy storage system that is not affected by temperature extremes and needs minimal maintenance is essential. NASA are testing ones that move at a staggering 60,000 revs per minute to help power the International Space Station.
NASA don't tend to make their flywheels out of washing machines, but engineering student Rich is keen to push the boundaries of bodging.
How are we doing for time? Most of the time, mate. Just we need the equipment. I need a bike pump.
Hardman Captain Mick is determined to run his team like he runs Sea Wing.
Bike pump. Andy! Stay here!
Steve and Andy know they'll lose privileges if they don't start finding the basics for their rubber band racer.
Andy, what are you looking for?
Bits of everything, bikes mainly, rollers, bits of rubber, cuddly toys. Just
his nerve decanter.
Anything there. Yeah.
Towel set.
All that, yeah.
We peel that right down, and we can rotate the whole thing out, and that should just drop off.
Yeah.
Young One's Captain Tom is convinced that washing machine drum will make a fantastic flywheel, if he can get it out.
It's not the kind of thing you do every day.
It's wonderful. This is I'm a bit lost at the moment because I'm thinking Clockwork cars, you know, big key.
Yeah,
big
well,
spring.
we thought we might do our washing on the way.
We have a
we don't want to
plan.
get dirty now. So
give me a quick rundown of.
We're going for a flywheel.
Spinning round really fast, then you then it drives the wheel, and then you go along.
Yeah, that's right. A couple of thousand RPM minimum.
That's fast.
Fast.
He's got a bike.
Jailbreaker Andy is hoping to impress Captain Mick with a girl's push bike and some scrap rubber.
What do you reckon to that? Steve says, is that going to be any good? This is window sealant off the cars. There's not much elastic in it.
I don't think there'll be enough stretch in it.
No. Right,
Andy's rubber gets the heave-ho. That window seal is made of synthetic rubber, which isn't as stretchy as natural rubber. Natural rubber is made of complex chains of molecules called polymers that are cross-linked, so it's the only stuff that can be pulled to 4 times its length and quickly snap back into place.
Since more stretch equals more energy stored, the jailbreakers need to track down some natural rubber. Steve and Andy are sentenced to another long stint scavenging on the heap. And the young ones' high spirits are getting on their nerves.
I don't know, bloody kids on motorbikes.
This energy storage business looks like child's play to me.
Look at that, Lisa. The most simple wind-up vehicle in the history of the human race.
That's nice, but have you seen mine? Basically, it's a mousetrap, which is attached to the piece of Lego, and if I wind it up like that, it means the energy is stored in the coil on the mousetrap.
Oh, well, that's all a bit clever. Well, let's have a race.
1, 2, 3, go! Oh, lovely. Bad direction.
Mine's moving.
Bye. Bang. Oh. That's very slow, really, isn't it?
That is, but it's reliable. It's very reliable.
I did notice at the top of your shopping list you've got beer.
Because we're having a point system for beer at the end of the show. As you can see, brilliant idea, good idea, stupid idea, and ideas I'm not sure about. Unfortunately, he's ahead. But he won't be by the end of the day because I got the pen.
Teams, you have 8 hours remaining.
Watching our teams tick over this week is John Hutchinson, Technology Director of the Free Play Energy Group. He's helped design Clockwork radios, torches, and even phone chargers.
Very exciting. I love this challenge. Very, very good. I mean, what do you think of the 2 ideas that they're going with so far? Strictly speaking, they're not actually clockwork in that sense.
Clockwork really uses a steel spring.
Yeah.
But these are more sort of wind-up or human energy cars.
Yes.
And they're each using a very interesting but completely different form of storing the energy.
The jailbreakers are using twisted rubber, effectively. Is that what they're doing?
That's right. They're storing energy in a rubber. The trick with the way they've oriented this motor is to get a constant force out of the rubber.
So they won't sort of shoot off very fast at the beginning and then slow down.
That's
it
exactly
should stay at the same pace.
And that's why they've done that. The design is a good design.
Right.
To do that.
Good. And what about the flywheel one? It sounds like it is a little bit complicated.
I think that the young ones have got the easier challenge. It's a very well-known way of doing this, of storing energy for later release.
With 3 hours gone, the jailbreakers have a girl's push bike and not much else towards their rubber-powered racer.
How about that for the kids? Wicked. That's about the best thing you found all day, that.
And instead of searching for rubber, they're winding up their youthful rivals.
Hey, old fellas, teach you a few tricks.
A game of
You know us too well.
Nice one.
The young ones have no time for games. They're pushing the boundaries of energy storage technology with a scrap washing machine.
Will the brawny jailbreakers take no prisoners in their bungee buggy, or will the scrawny young ones surge into the lead in their Formula 1 flywheel? Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Scrapheap Challenge, where it's a face-off between a team of techie teens and a posse of prison officers as they race to build a vehicle that can run on stored energy.
The jailbreakers are going for a wind-up rubber band racer. They hope to use the rollers off that conveyor belt to tension the rubber.
But maybe it may be more sensible to use the big ones.
We'll decide quickly, mate, so we can get some build on.
There's just one problem. They haven't actually found any rubber yet.
Meanwhile, the scrapyard scamps have got a whole fleet of bikes to build a chassis.
Bloke's bike. I don't think we're going to be too big or small for him.
And they're steaming ahead with their plan to turn a washing machine drum into an energy-storing flywheel.
Tom, we've got a whole reel of lead now.
John has found some heavy lead flashing, just the thing to add weight to their flywheel.
If the young ones put more weight around the rim of their washing machine drum, it will have more momentum and will spin for longer, which means it can store more energy and power them further. But if the weight's not precisely balanced, the drum could spin itself right off its bearings. For now, the teenagers are spinning into the lead.
Hey, we have a flywheel.
Very well centred.
So what have we got here? It looks suspiciously to me like a washing machine.
You'd be
Funny
right.
you should say that.
Ex-washing machine.
I have to ask, why did you decide to go for a washing machine rather than just an ordinary vehicle wheel? Would that not have been easier?
What we're trying to do is maximise the diameter and keep the weight right at the edge. We can put lead inside here, if we put that inside there, then it's a lot closer to the centre.
That's why you're getting the washing machine.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Now, you know, they called you the young ones. How young actually are you, or how old are you?
I'm 18.
I'm 19 and so is John.
So how long have you two known each other?
Since about 8.
Since you were 8?
Yeah.
So did you used to, like, build Lego things and Meccano?
Yeah, good old Lego.
Oh, Lego's brilliant.
Definitely,
Well,
yeah.
it's a good way of experimenting, really. You see what works, what doesn't work, then you go out, get a bit older, then you get power tools and bits of metal, and then you go from there, really.
No, so it's only just to see how far forward it'll bring it.
The jailbreakers have finally found some rubber, but will it have sufficient stretch?
Right, foot brake off.
Nick is impressed with its pulling power.
We could probably stretch the rubber out a lot further than that.
They've got a lot of catching up to do. But with all that stretchy natural rubber, they might just bounce back.
Natural rubber has been used to propel big model airplanes with some success. The Rubber Bandit, as it's known, is powered by 800 8-metre-long rubber bands. They're twisted 200 times till they're 3 times their original length, then released. The inventors plan to scale up this plane to 4 times its size so it can carry a passenger. Oops.
Blissfully unaware of the potential problems of rubber band technology, Steve takes a break to share his newfound confidence on the scrap can.
I had my doubts at the start that it would work, but the expert knows a bit more about it than I, so he's convinced me that it's working right. Mick's organising us well, which is good because he'll severely beat me if it doesn't work.
Get back in here, Steve. We'll start some building.
Could you do a bit of
The young ones prefer democratic discussion.
flywheel? If you move your flywheel, say, to the left and your bike a bit to the right.
You don't have to be sat over the middle, do you? It doesn't really matter which side.
It doesn't matter which side, whether you put that left or right.
But all this chat isn't getting their machine built, and Rich is getting anxious.
That was all.
What have we got to do? Because, I mean, there's a lot of theories flying around here. And...
If John go out, get the rest of the stuff, Richard start stripping the bikes.
OK.
OK.
Yeah, that's...
And time is running out.
Teams, you have 7 hours remaining.
7?
7 hours remaining, teams. Thank you.
What?
The young ones are losing momentum, while the jailbreakers are working like a chain gang. Nick's on sprocket duty, and top welder Steve is fabricating a frame for their rubber band engine.
But there could be tears before bedtime in the young ones' camp.
Tom, I'm just slightly worried about the lack of any chassis at all.
But we make the chassis to fit. We don't fit that in. We build it round.
I know. It's just we have not got anything at all.
Rich still isn't happy with the progress they're making.
Everyone's working really hard at the moment, but not much is coming together. We've got lots and lots of bikes, lots of bits of metal, got most of the washing machine. Nothing looks like the machine we're trying to build.
Just get some easy angle.
The rubber bandits are tweaking the design of their racer.
Can you not make a box, like a little box frame out of that hang line?
Right, good idea, Mick.
Right.
Good idea, Nick.
What was that? Was it? It was a good idea.
Yeah.
And Mick's got a commanding lead on beer points.
That just shows how many good ideas I've actually had.
Isn't it funny how the man who's doing the scoring has the most, huh?
Oh, hang on. They are validated.
Have they validated? What was your brilliant idea?
I can't remember.
So is this the rubbery stuff?
Double and treble it up a few times.
Right. Yeah. It's not like one length of it.
No.
The roller.
No.
You'll stretch like loads and loads of it.
Yeah.
How do you
Only
wind
with
it
this.
up then? Do you wind it up with pedals?
Call it names.
You call it... Sorry. See, I was right there. I was right there. Call it names. You stupid, stretchy bit of rubber.
That's it. That's it.
That's wild.
The jailbreakers have to untangle reams of rubber before they can attach it to the rollers.
Plan B. Start again.
Meanwhile, Steve has the precision job of mounting the rollers onto the frame, and they have to be spot on.
Are they on yet, Steve?
It's a mile out.
The jailbreakers are using different sized bike sprockets to gear down their rollers. They'll link the sprockets up with a chain and create a 4:1 gearing ratio between the rollers. It means that for every single turn of the front roller, the rear roller will turn 4 times. It'll be hard pedalling, but it means they can put loads of stretch into their rubber bands very quickly and ping forwards. But first, they've got loads of rubber to unravel.
I hate this. I ain't doing this again.
So I'll start again.
Teams, you have 5 hours remaining. 5 hours remaining, teams.
The Junkyard Juniors are still lagging. And Tom is the only one who can weld on the team.
Tom?
Yeah?
Because John can't weld, is it worth you starting on the chassis and
Well,
John
we're
helping
going to
out?
get these bits offered up, and then we'll start...
Can't John do that?
Do what?
We'll do what you're doing for a bit.
Well, we can't do... We've got to get this done before we can put anything in the chassis.
Ah, this is crazy.
It's a bit of a drawback. But at last, the young ones crack on with building their chassis.
So we seem to be in the midst of a lot of components now.
I don't think either teams have put together the way they're going to do that, join the motor with the vehicle that it's going to go in.
And the Jailbreakers, I mean, their basic design, you're happy with the way they're approaching it, what they're doing?
The Jailbreakers have got on with the job, they got what they need to do out of it, and I think that they've got the basic idea of the machine correct. Right. I think the young ones have some technical challenges that they need to overcome. One of them is to get the energy out of the flywheel into the car, because it's spinning at a fantastically high speed, and they've got to suddenly disengage that and then get that moving into the vehicle.
So I mean, taking all that into consideration, I mean, who's your money on at the moment?
And I think that the Jailbreakers are further down the line. I think that they've got into the process, they're not theorising, they're doing what's necessary to do it, and so my money's on them.
The young ones are sorting out their transmission.
And then it's just deciding where we're going to take the lead shaft. We're going to come up or down, but there is frame up there.
To get the energy out of their flywheel and into their drive wheel, they need to decide where to put a clutch, and they need to do it fast.
Teams, you have 4 hours remaining. 4 hours remaining, teams. Thank you.
This is a job for some Meccano maniacs.
Got to get our intermediate shaft in. The belt will actually hang away.
If you just put the drum this side, you have your run.
Our budding boffins have solved their transmission brain teaser. They plan to fix a pulley between the flywheel and the drive wheel. When they're pedalling up the flywheel, the strap connecting them will be slack. Then, when they're ready to go, they'll engage their clutch, tensioning the strap and turning the drive wheel. With that surge of energy from the flywheel, they hope to hit the road at top speed. The tenacious teams are bouncing back.
We're getting there with the chassis, beginning to put that together, about to weld it up. So overall, we're pretty happy.
While the young ones get back in the game, the Jailbreakers' progress has slowed. Steve's re-squaring the frame for their rubber band engine. He's built bridges, power stations and even oil rigs, but that little frame is proving tricky.
Steve, what was wrong with it before?
It was out of square, so when you put the cogs on here, they'd have been like that.
Right.
Would have thrown the chain.
Mick isn't convinced.
See, we've been doing all this. You're stretching that job out. He's taken that plate off 3 times, you know.
Word of the Jailbreakers' trouble spreads as Robert turns informer.
Are they still all right? I mean,
they were very confident to start with. It's that thing, if you did a graph, you know, you were sort of like wobbling along and whoa, and you've gone like that, and they've all going like that, and then they've gone a bit wobbly.
Oh, really? I thought they had like a little cup of tea and sit down and put the feet up.
They're a bit confused with they've got a lot of stretchy rubber that's all over the place. We're not sure what they're doing with it.
What is going on here? Where's your transmission system going?
It's going to go on the back here any minute now.
Some fairly slapdash welding here. Who's doing the welding?
I'll tell you what, you know, I'm disgusted with that welding, right? This man said he could weld anything to anything. He's the best welder in the whole jail.
That was covered in paint.
It's terrible.
That was covered in paint.
So why don't you clean it off first?
I haven't got time.
Excuses covered in paint.
It's true, that is bad.
It is a bit pants, isn't it?
Well, I'm better than that, and I'm just a novice. In fact, I lied on my application form to get here, really.
Well, it's not very good, is it?
Nothing wrong with it.
They're poking fun at my welding. It'll work. It'll work. I don't think Lisa knows what she's talking about as far as welding goes anyway, and Mick's just Mick.
So with 3 hours to go, the Jailbreakers still haven't fixed their elastic engine onto their chassis. While the young ones are already knocking up the transmission for their flywheel-powered racer.
As time ticks by, will our latex-loving law enforcers spring into the lead in their rubber band racer? And can the baby-faced bodgers be persuaded to terminate tinkering before bedtime? Find out after the break. Welcome back to Scrapheap Challenge, where our two teams are building life-size clockwork cars, capable of storing their energy without batteries.
The young ones, our youngest team ever, have had some growing pains turning their washing machine drum into a spinning flywheel capable of storing pedal power.
Yay! We have a motor.
While the Jailbreakers, a team of prison officers from the Black Country, have gone for good old-fashioned rubber band power. But welder Steve still hasn't finished the frame for their rubber rollers.
What are we doing now, mate?
And Mick's running out of patience.
Teams, you have 3 hours remaining. 3 hours remaining, team.
I've got to shake a leg.
Andy and Mick are struggling to sort out equal lengths of rubber to wind onto the rollers.
6, 7, 8. Andy, measure it to the outside one, because you're getting them shorter every time.
Because you said pull them straight, so I'm pulling them straight.
I said pull them straight,
Tension's
yes,
going on them.
but I didn't say shorten them, did I?
And Captain Mick's got a nasty case of rubber rage.
I don't think I've ever come across a team captain that is so clearly the captain. You know, nobody's going to argue with him.
Without a doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
Andy's very pleasant. I think he looks possibly harder than he is. And Steve
Yeah,
is actually
sure.
quite a sweetie. But
yeah.
Mick,
Don't argue with Mick. Because sometimes you can go into a team where they're working and you go, wait a minute, which one's the captain? I can't. In there, not a second. You just go, there's the captain.
Yes, I'm pulling them.
I didn't say pull them short and
Tensing
tie
them.
after them, did I? You don't listen.
But there's harmony in the teenagers' den. They finish their chassis, and Rich wastes no time sorting out their steering.
Guys,
Hey, we have a technology.
Do we want brakes left, or we're not planning on brakes?
Leave them on.
When you look at the two teams, who's going to have the quickest sort of recharge time, as it were?
The Jailbreakers will be able to wind that rubber back on really quickly.
Right.
But you might find that the energy that they contain in that rubber is not going to be as much as the young ones.
Right.
The young ones are probably going to get that drum spinning up really fast and probably overtake them again if they can get the power onto the road.
Right. So it's really, it is neck and neck at the
I
moment.
think
It's
so.
very
I
hard
think
to
it's
live.
neck and neck,
If
yeah.
both machines work,
Yep.
it's very
If
hard
both
to-
machines work, it'll be a really interesting
Right.
test.
Tom and Clive are sizing up their customised washing machine drum flywheel, and it certainly looks powerful.
you kind of get the feeling once that gets going, they don't want to be stopping and starting it.
No, they've got to just keep going and hope for the best.
Actually, I've got a load of dirty washing. Perhaps I'll bring it in.
Well,
they
I
could pop
did-
it in on a spin seat.
Yeah, we could shove a load of old dirty socks in there and it'll give it a bit of extra weight, a bit of extra momentum. Sock power.
Yeah, right on there.
Yeah.
It can go that way a bit more.
Can it?
The Jailbreakers finally have their roller frame welded to the chassis, and is making some precision adjustments.
Right, that's bang in line, that is.
They've still got a lot to do, and they haven't attached their rubber yet.
Is that tension right?
Teams, you have 2 hours remaining. 2 hours construction time remaining, teams. Thank you.
1, 2, 1. I thought that tilted.
The Jailbreakers are getting seriously strung out. Tensioning their rubber is critical, so the Breakout boys are doing a little testing. Since they'll get as much energy out as they put in, they need to see how much they can stretch their rubber without snapping it.
It's easy if you turn this one. Mickey got a better.
Don't know, don't care.
Nurse is leaking.
I ain't got time to bleed.
As night falls, the young ones are on a roll.
Hey, hey, boys, we got an engine, and it's in.
Tom and Clive are mounting their flywheel and getting to grips with their transmission.
Hey, John.
Yeah.
Whale tail.
Whale tail.
Oh, fantastic.
Fairing.
Rich is getting stuck into making aerodynamic fairing to cut down on wind resistance.
It's the moment of truth for the Jailbreakers.
Right, check this out then, yeah?
Can their bodged-together chassis take the weight of their rubber band engine?
That is seriously on the piece.
That's it.
The engine's too heavy and it's broken free from the chassis. It's up to Steve to fix it.
No. Put a brace down there.
Oh, God.
Pulling it down.
Steve sorted it. Now they need to see how the rollers hold up under the strain of all that rubber.
We've got to wind some tension. wheel up, so... What happened then? Chain come off?
Yeah.
Chains come off there.
Just pull the sprocket off.
It's hard.
There's so much power stored in the rubber, it's caused the chain to strip the sprocket. Time to offer some moral support.
Creeping in very quietly.
Really concentrated.
I never thought it'd happen, you know. I never thought it'd happen.
What was that?
Last minute panic.
Oh, no. Look at that. It's all there.
It's there. It's ever so slightly collapsing.
Oh, is it? No.
Oh, it's died twice.
Has it really?
Yeah, we've had to resurrect it.
Oh, no, don't.
We had it all tensioned up, but then, when the wheels fell off...
No.
Well, it didn't fall off, it flew off.
Right.
Yeah. It should be all right. If we can get this sorted out now, we'll be fine.
I mean, you know, I can say how fast it's going to go tomorrow. You haven't got a clue, really. have you?
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, how long's the bit of rubber?
Young ones, how's it going?
Well, we're a fair bit older now.
Do you feel like you've aged 10 years in 10 hours?
And the rest. Oh, yeah.
Oh, bless you. Really? Has it been that bad?
It's been reasonably stressful, I must say.
Time marches on, doesn't it?
Yeah. The time seemed to go very slowly at first while we were planning it, and then suddenly, woof, gone completely.
Really? Now, how are you feeling about tomorrow? Are you nervous? Are you excited?
Just the pulling off on the first run. So that's the bit when things are going to break, if they do.
Got a tenner each
Quietly
way.
confident.
Are you?
Yeah, definitely.
How badly do you want to win?
We'd like to win. It'd be
They've
nice to
ripping
win.
us for being students and, well, for generally being young people, so we want to prove them wrong.
So you've got a point to prove?
Yeah, exactly.
And do you think you're the man to prove it?
We certainly hope with the team to prove it.
Excellent.
Yep.
So I'm going to leave you just to finish off your machine, and best of luck tomorrow.
Thank you very much.
Come on.
Thank you. See you.
Teams, you have 1 hour remaining. 1 whole hour remaining, teams.
Loads of time.
The jailbreakers are racing to sort out their chain trouble.
All that is working against each other. We need to drop this chain off and tension it up.
There will be. That's the power line.
Got a machine.
The young ones are looking downright cocky. Just a few finishing touches to their clutch.
John! Hey, hello.
That'll hold. What about some wing mirrors or something?
And the boy racers are ready to take their flywheel out for a spin.
Is this a flywheel test, guys?
Yeah, just in time for a
All
low-speed
right.
test.
Is this a low-speed test?
Yep.
All right.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Moment of truth.
Here we go.
Woo. It sounds like an engine.
It is.
I didn't know it was going to make a noise. He never told me that. I thought it was
steam powered.
There's going to be two completely unique machines. Next doors is in its own way extremely unique as well.
I think we ought to try it now because we have a chain snap on us tomorrow. We're knackered, at least we can chop off some rubber then. Have a look.
Not to be outdone, the turnkeys are having a test run too.
Oh, jailbreakers, is this your maiden voyage?
Yeah. You ready?
3, 2, 1. Oh, away you go! Oh, look at that! Hey, oh, fantastic!
So, John, let's imagine that it's race day. I mean, both machines look like they're going to be working very close to it now. Steering slightly worries me.
Yeah, look, they're both complicated. I think that both of these aren't going to be the easiest ones to take around the track. Maybe the young ones are got a bit of advantage on steering.
Yeah.
And I think that looks a little wobbly.
And what about their fairings? Do you think is that going to make much difference?
No. It's a tight one.
I think it is.
I think this is a tight one. But if I had to put money on it,
you'd go with the jailbreaker.
I'd go with the jailbreaker.
Sorry, young ones.
We go. Yep, you got it.
The young ones have got to get that clutch handle on. Without it, they're going nowhere.
Teams, you have 30 minutes remaining. 30 minutes remaining, teams. Thank you.
Whew.
The jailbreakers are still welding on their sprockets, and time is ticking away.
Right, teams, you have 10 minutes remaining. 10 minutes remaining, teams. All right, teams, down your tools and contemplate your clockwork masterpieces, you genius boys.
Yes, clock off, rest your muscles, and plan your strategy for tomorrow.
Well done, teams. Excellent build.
Well done, boys.
Yeah, good work, lads.
Well done, mate.
Well done, you.
Will the prison officers achieve a runaway victory with their highly strung rubber racer? Or will time be on the side of our techie teens with their heavyweight flywheel-mobile? Find out after the break.
Welcome back to Scrapheap Challenge, where spring is clearly in the air as our teams limber up for our Clockwork car trials.
This athletics track in deepest Surrey is the setting for our energy storage triathlon. First, a distance trial. How far can these self-powered speedsters coast on just one charge? Next up is a fiendish obstacle course that will test their manoeuvrability to the limit. Finally, it's a heated head-to-head 400-metre marathon.
To make sure that our team's Clockwork contraptions are in tick-tock condition, they get the usual hour of tinkering time.
She's here, the little beauty. We're going to give this a dry test with the axle.
The young ones, our team of scrapyard striplings, have built a Formula One flywheel out of a washing machine drum and 2 bikes.
Okay.
The jailbreakers, a team of prison officers from Wolverhampton, are testing their rubber band racer.
There's a lot of creaking and groaning. Whoa! That's destruction.
Right, okay.
They've bust their chain.
Wait.
Right.
The young ones have no such worries. They've moved on to the purely cosmetic. While the boys in blue wrestle with some serious setbacks. Nick and Mick have to replace the chain set.
It's the last time I bought a chain set from a scrapyard.
I'll teach it.
And to avoid another snap, they'll need to ease the tension by taking lots of rubber off. It might prevent the chain breaking again, but it's going to mean they can store less energy.
Well, at the moment, it looks like the young one's machine is looking very healthy and the jailbreakers is looking a bit broken.
Yeah, that's right. There was an enormous amount of energy in that elastic.
Huge amount.
But they couldn't wind it properly. I think they've taken too much elastic off myself.
Right, so who's your money on now? You're going to change your mind? I've forgotten where you were last time.
Last time it was the jailbreakers,
right,
because they seem to have got their act together quicker. But that's not true of this morning's stuff.
Right.
If you have a look at it, I think overall put my money on the young ones.
The young ones. Ooh.
The young ones have chosen rail-thin Rich to ride, while the jailbreakers have gone for athletic Andy. It's the moment of truth. Just how far will their Clockwork chariots take them on one charge of stored energy?
Teams, are you ready?
Yeah!
Start charging your vehicles now!
Is that good speed?
Keep going, we're all right.
Rich and Andy aren't the only ones cranking up the pressure.
All the prisoners are going to be watching this, aren't they?
Oh, yes.
Are they going to give you grief if you lose?
Oh, yes.
Really?
Loads of grief.
3, 2, 1...
And they're off. Rich spins into the lead, while Andy's progress is slow and steady.
Keep going, And.
Come on. Keep it running, Andy.
Keep it running, mate.
Yeah,
He's getting his head down to stop the wind resistance.
Stop the wind resistance, which at that speed would have been great.
Rich is draining every last drop from the spin cycle, while the rubber racer's gone a bit limp.
That's it.
We haven't made the first flag. Brilliant.
Brakes on.
It's a triumph for the young ones.
I mean, they're both vehicles moved. That's better than them not moving.
That's very true.
Yeah. I'm trying to find an optimistic note here.
Don't think they need to measure it.
The jailbreakers' getaway was an unimpressive 16 metres, while the young ones reached 38 metres and earn a point.
Well,
Well
you
done.
conclusively say you won that.
Thank
Don't
you.
I'm going to go see how jailbreakers are getting on.
I want a steward's inquiry.
What's the problem?
We've got too long a length of elastic on and not enough of it. We need to double it up, get a shorter length to get more pull.
I thought that was a good length. In my book, that's a good length.
Next up, the obstacle course. This time, recharging is allowed, but the clock keeps ticking. And there's a 20-second penalty if they hit anything. 19-year-old Tom is in the hot seat.
No pressure or anything, Tom.
Cheers, John.
Young ones, are you ready?
Yeah.
Start charging your vehicle now!
Come on, pedal,
5,
pedal, pedal, pedal.
4, 3, 2, 1...
That's it, go for it, Tom. Steering quite well.
She's doing that quite
He's actually
well.
doing it very well.
Two gates.
Ooh.
Two gates.
Oh, they're doing all right. You know, they haven't hit anything yet.
Stop. Get brake on.
Charging is crucial, but the clock is ticking as he winds.
Here we go again.
Go on, Pebble. Go on, Tom. Go on. Oh, and look at that.
He hasn't hit anything.
You're doing great, Tom, steering. Too slow now.
And that's a fast recharge.
Okay, go for it.
It's like a well-oiled pit stop crew now.
Go. Drum in.
Oh, and he's off. He was like a rat out of an aqueduct.
Oh, they're going well now. Come on.
One more charge, should we make it? See if you can make it.
Come on, Tom!
It's an agonising finish.
Come on!
Fantastic.
Nice driving.
Thank you, Rich.
Well done. You pleased with that?
Very, very pleased, yeah.
Did we hit anything?
No, don't think so.
Good man. Excellent.
With 3 minutes 16 to beat, the jailbreakers will have to burn rubber.
Start to charge your vehicle now.
Okay, where you go, mate? Where you go?
They've added more rubber, but will their flexible fix be enough to ping them into the lead?
That's about it, boys.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh wow, good move off.
It is good.
Nice and steady.
Roll.
And he's already run out of juice.
Okay, ready on.
Charge.
On, let's see his fingers out first.
But they're rewinding much faster than the young ones.
Will it go any more? Okay, that's about it.
I'll do.
And he still hasn't hit any obstacles.
Why do you think he steers with his feet? Eh?
This could really catch on.
Put your foot plug on the left.
Didn't break out of jail using that as an escape vehicle, could you?
You wouldn't get very far out of C-Wing, would you?
Okay, go.
Go. Come on. Plug on the left.
Finally, a burst of energy.
That's a good one.
Oh, well done.
Whoa, look at that.
Way to go, Idaho.
Go.
They could steal it.
I'll do. Don't waste any time.
Go on, charge it.
Oh, that didn't sound so good. Go.
Yes.
318.
At last, success.
How was that?
I was running out of school.
I'll tell you when I get off this saddle.
It was close, but the jailbreakers were 2 seconds slower, giving the young ones a commanding 2-point lead.
Our monster marathon will send our teams chugging all the way around our track. There are 2 points up for grabs, so it's the last chance for the jailbreakers to square the match.
Jailbreakers, you've got it all to play for.
Yeah.
Have you got any tactics particularly for getting around this last race?
Yeah, I've got a baseball bat.
Big bully,
Yeah,
Captain Mick.
I know.
All right,
been
well,
said.
good luck. Young ones,
Slow enough to stop.
how you feeling?
Okay. Do okay.
We're ready to do battle.
Yeah. Tom, what are your tactics for the final race?
Variable tactics that change as we go along. We haven't got a clue.
Do you know, I was going with you then, I was thinking, that's great, you've really thought this out, but actually you're just going to see what happens, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, good luck, boys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
It's make or break time. The young ones can get further on each wind, but the jailbreakers can recharge faster. Who will be the first to cross the finish line?
Teams, are you ready for the wind-up marathon of the year?
Yeah!
Okay, start to charge your vehicles.
Go on,
Ant.
Good luck, Richard.
Thank you.
5, 4, 3,
Leave it at that.
2, 1.
Keep in your lane.
They're off. Very good start there.
Those guys. That's an excellent start. Look at that.
More wind on the next
Andy runs out of juice first.
Okay, break now.
Rich overtakes, but he doesn't have the energy to get much further.
Okay, charge.
The jailbreakers are quicker on the recharge and are springing into the lead.
Hey, yeah, pedal clear.
The young one's flywheel is taking a long time to spin up.
Go.
And the young one seems to freewheel further, doesn't it, once they get going?
Baby, come on.
Andy's putting his back into it. Rich is chasing hard and pulls level.
Let's try that.
Go.
Go for it.
Rich is pedaling up like mad.
The young ones are going to be absolutely exhausted at the end of this.
But they still haven't overtaken them.
But with every wind, the young ones are gaining ground.
Leave it.
It's munching away, look.
The jailbreakers are in trouble. Their rubber is getting totally tangled. The young ones are overtaking them.
Sorry.
Mick's having to rip out their snarled up rubber.
Saw the knackered pieces there.
The youngsters are leaving them in the dust.
I'll just charge it on
The jangled jailers need a miracle now.
They may have had a chat on Seaway.
Yeah.
If you've got a vehicle that you want to move and no one knowing you're moving it, how do you do it?
Well, sir, it's quite easy.
You know, there could be some special prim trick that we don't know about.
We must keep our eye on that.
Yeah.
Go on.
Oh, well. Give him a rest.
It looks like curtains for our plucky prison officers. Rich is in the final stretch. Will it be the triumph of the teenagers?
Hey. Give it all you got, mister. That's your checkered flag, mate. Go for it. Don't break the chain.
Come on. They're going to do it with this one. They're going to need one more. Oh, go on. They're going to make it. Yay! Brilliant.
Oh, the poor old jailbreaker is still trying to get out of it.
We're going to finish.
Come on, guys.
Somebody
Get out of
Hold on. Good job. Good job.
Valiant effort.
Hold on.
Well, I think we can quite conclusively say that the winners of this week's Scrapheap Challenge are the young ones. Well done, boys.
But that does mean that you young ones have got to come back for the quarterfinals.
Hey!
Oh, yes, you're going to do it again.
Hey!
And if that wound you up, join us on Scrapheap Challenge next week.
And away.
Next week on Scrapheap Challenge, the young ones are back and will be fighting to keep an even keel as they take on Devonshire farmers, the barley pickers, in a rough race to build the smoothest ride in town. Which of our teams will show unshakable resolve in our shocking skirmish for stability?
You can't go around the back of the throat, that's illegal.